How's it going, YouTube Reefers? This is an update on my NUVO 20. This is what it looked like when I first got it a year and a half ago. Here's some bad news. All these fish I had in my tank, I lost them due to some marine sickness. I don't know what it was, but it wiped out all my fish. Left my tank without any fish in it for about 5 months. I did this to kill off any parasites or bacteria that was feeding off the fish. I added these long fin clownfish and 2 firefish and a tailspot blenny after the 5 months, and they've been doing okay. None of them have died off or showed any signs of sickness. And here's my quarantine setup. I have the long fin clownfish in here. I had them in here for 8 weeks. I quarantine a little bit longer now. My previous quarantine method was just to leave them here to 3 to 4 weeks, and in you went. I think that's what caused the problem with that yellow tang. It's the one that died first, and it set a chain of events that killed everything else in my tank. Not anymore. And here's my Kessil A80 controller. I really love this thing. It ramps up your lights very gradually from your minimum settings up to your maximum settings throughout the day. And it doesn't do it at a big step. It gradually ramps up. I finally set it up at maximum intensity of 75% and color of 35. It seems that gives me a pretty good blue spectrum, and the corals seem to love it. And here's an update with the Kessil A80 in this tank. I've had it roughly for a year and 2 months. And you can see everything's growing pretty good. I'll be showing you also some updates I did on the filtration system. I added pond matrix in between the cracks of those biospheres. I had a bunch of empty spaces, so I said let's fill them up with pond matrix. Works pretty good, and any additional filtration is a plus for me. And I also put a bunch of pond matrix on this other caddy. Let me take this filter pad out and show you. I also use Kimmy Pure Blue Elite. It works pretty good. Keeps my tank crystal clear. As you can see, it's in this bag right here. I also have these tabs here to hold this plastic grate, so I can put the filter pad on top. This filter pad catches any uneaten fish food and any detritus and helps me filter it out before it goes to waste. And here's the chaeto, which keeps growing like weeds. I've never had to use a skimmer on this tank. The chaeto and biospheres have been doing all the work. And let me show you a major lighting update I did to this tank. I bought this Radion Gen 3 Pro XR15 at my local LFS, which is helping my coral out a lot. All these coral grew to this size with the Kessil A80, but they started getting stunned and they wouldn't grow anymore. So I was gonna add another light, but he had this light in there. It was used, but he gave me a great deal on it, and I bought it. I cannot pass up a great deal. As you can see, all the coral are doing good and they love it. It's in acclimation mode right now, but the coral are loving this light so far. That Kessil A80 grew my coral pretty good. This branching hammer grew a bunch of extra heads under that light, which led me to frag it a couple of times. As you can see on the bottom left, I have a small frag of that coral. This Radion Gen 3 is pretty easy to use. I've got it on 40% max intensity, and it's in acclimation mode right now. As for the Kessil A80, it grew all these small frags from 1 or 2 polyps to multiple polyps right now, and I'm going to be using that light in a 10-gallon nano tank that I'm building right now. As for this bicolored hammer coral, I had it in my 125 Reef tank, which it wasn't doing too good, so I put it in this tank to see if I could bring it back to life and good health. So far so good. And that's my update on the NUVO 20-gallon reef tank with the Kessil A80. As you can tell, everything grew, and now I'm expecting better growth with this Radion Gen 3 Pro. Thanks for watching.